and developed the name the Hooks, and really respect to my father, who was a fantastic fisherman, and I loved the name Hooks, and we changed it, and we went into practice that I guess in February of 13, and just said, we're going to have a different philosophy. It's going to be stressed on defense, and we're going to worry about hitting later. And we just decided that we're going to try to just put together the best defensive team we could put together, and I think that's been our calling card all along.
And yeah, pitching and defense are what wins games, no matter what level you're on. And you guys set a league record last year for the fewest runs allowed per game for an entire season. It was fewer than 2 runs a game on average, which is quite frankly ridiculous. But I think you really hit on what the success of your team has been in recent years. You've been able to retain guys. Now, we all lose players here and there. I know you lose guys here and there, but I look back, we played, I think, I looked the other day, 48 times over the years against you guys. It's a lot of games. And, I can remember most of those games are guys like Danny Mack and Oz and Spanel and Hawkins and yourself. And it seems like your core group of guys, and that's a testament to the guys you have, you're able to keep them around.
They like each other. It's funny. They got a bowling league. Yeah, they got a bowling league in an off season. They stay close. They communicate. They go to different events together, and they get together in the end of January, early February, and they get in the gym and start hitting ground balls and taking BP, and you hit something right on the head. We get 8 or 9 guys that are a core at every game, and I think a lot of teams in this league, if they don't have the main 6 or 7, they get very watered down, and it doesn't really hurt us to even the people on the bench are decent players.
Oh, absolutely. And you've got a team full of, I know when we played you a couple weeks ago, which seems like an eternity, by the way. That's the last game we played. But I commented to Danny, I was batting, and I looked around your infield. I look over there, and I see, Brandon Osborne's playing first, and you had Kevin Dussault playing second. You had Ramsey at short. Leach I said, you got an infield full of shortstops here.
Every one of them played college shortstop, and then we just added Leach's brother, who was a college shortstop as well. So, and if you don't have one of those there, you can move a guy to short, you can move a guy to center field, and I can bring Joe Flick in and play first. I mean, we're very versatile, and they all buy into everything we're doing.
And that's certainly the key. And we talk about how you've built this team, and you've been able to add guys. It's always easier to add guys when you have a successful team. But tell us the story of how you added. I think was it Zach Heil that you were telling me you met him at LA Fitness, and he had a baseball shirt on, and you just kind of did some recruiting right there?
He was just on the bench, and I saw a Weber baseball shirt on him, and I have no problem walking up to anybody and asking about what they do sure. and where they got the shirt. I was hoping he didn't say he bought it, but he had it on, and I asked him, and I said, "Are we any good in Florida?" And he goes, "Well," and I said, "Before you answer, the internet doesn't lie." And he said, I went deep in games. I threw a lot of strikes. And if you know Zach, and I know you do, he does do exactly that. And, usually you get somebody like him, and he may bring you another player or two that wants to get involved, and it's usually that same level. So that's the networking part of our game strategy.
Well, always working it, even when you're working out. So there you go, Ray. There's your secret.
Yeah, that's it. See if that works.
One of our biggest quotes that we kind of live by. I feel like we hustle as much as anybody. I mean, a lot of teams do it, but when somebody takes it easy, it's tough to walk in that dugout and come in there with your head up because somebody's going to get on you. But we really try to minimize damage and capitalize on opportunities. I think that's the biggest thing we do is if we can stop what somebody's doing and then maybe turn around like the other day against you guys bringing in Kirkendall to end an inning, stop a threat. It is such a big weapon.
Yeah, and you put a guy like that in, that can close out the game in a hurry, and that's certainly what happened in our game at Sycamore a couple of weeks ago. When you talk about the way you guys have put the team together over the years, you talk about guys like Ramsey and Spanel. I think that they played in college years ago. It's always easier when you can bring in guys that know one another, that have played together before. There's that level of comfort.
And yeah, they do know each other. They know what the team, Rammy came before, Spanel came before Ramsey. He mentioned him. I knew his dad. I played with Craig for many years.
I played in Florida with Craig Ramsey. And I had no idea until about 2 years ago at the All-Star game. Craig Ramsey showed up out at Foundation. I said, "What are you doing here?" And then, then obviously the light bulb went out, like, okay, moron. I'm an idiot. I didn't realize. Yeah, Ramsey and Ramsey. But, it's amazing how that can work out.
Yeah, I used to throw to Ben when he was 12 years old in the bullpen, and he would catch me as easy as the catcher that was actually in the game. So
Wow.
Ben Ramsey was a part of this at a young age.
Wow, and the two-time Player of the Year. And another guy you have who was the runner-up for Player of the Year last year, Kevin Dussault. An interesting story about him last fall, if you want to share that. The Reds have this program, the Major League Cincinnati Reds have a program where you can swing for your seats. And if you can find someone who's a good enough hitter, they get 3 pitches. If they're able to put one in the seats at Great American, you win season tickets. And somebody was smart enough to call up Kevin.
You know, I don't know this for sure, but I'm pretty sure he is very high up with Northern Kentucky's home run for a career category. I'm pretty sure. I mean, he takes a big swing, as you know, but he's such a smart 2-strike hitter that he just, decides ball in play will work right now. So that's kind of our philosophy also. Put the ball in play. You got a great chance to have something good happen, and just do what you can to put pressure on the defense.
Well, let's hope we can get some more baseball in. I know, Jeff, you've been in this league a long time. Have you ever seen as many rainouts as we've had before the 4th of July right now?
Never. I heard today that we've had more rain now at this point in time than we had the entire year last year. So
wow,
we're due for some really, really good weather, and it's going to be hot and steamy, and it's going to be fun again, and it's like the season hasn't begun.
I know. It's almost like that was spring training, those first few games. Hopefully we can get some in here. I know you guys, the same boat with me. I'm absolutely sick of the rain, ready to get playing. And the last game we played, like I said, last time we played was 3 weeks ago against you guys out at Sycamore. That's the only game we've played in a month.
We've played 2 innings since as well. I'm fairly sure of that. So it's Sunday we get the Meridians, which will be a big, big challenge. And hopefully things just start to go. Mother Nature loses some battles here.
Well, let's hope so. Well, Jeff, we appreciate you joining us in the Hot Corner. Best of luck to you on Sunday, and hey, let's get some more ball games out.
I really appreciate the time, and good luck to both of you guys, as long as you're not playing us.
All right, thanks, Jeff.
Thanks,
if you'd like to be
man.
on the Hot Corner or know someone who might, please let us know. Well, we're always open to getting guys on the Hot Corner and telling the stories of each individual team. And looking at the week coming up, we've got some great games on the schedule, Ray, and hopefully we can get some of these in. I'll let you kick it off here with a good matchup out at Schuler.
Yeah, out at Schuler, we got the Suds and the Bulls going at it, and so that's going to be a good game out there at Schuler, and see how that one plays out. And then the next one that we got is at Sycamore.
Thinking it might have to be the game of the week.
And I'm calling it now. This is the game of the week. There's no question about it. We don't even need to do the other 19. Your team, my team, Sycamore, Sunday morning, weather permitting.
That's it. Two cutoff men will be battling at it against each other head to head. So
absolutely should be fun. Always good time playing you guys. We had a couple of really good spirited games last year. I think we played on opening day last year. Had an extra inning game up at Sycamore. That was a fun game. I think it was a 2-1 game. Went to extras, and hopefully we'll be in store for a good ball game. If my guys remember how to play, we haven't played for 3 weeks.
I figured you'd want to go ahead and bring that one up. That was the only really bad outing I had pitching last year at the end in the extra innings. So thanks a lot, Jason. Appreciate it.
Well, I didn't say anything about that. I just said it was a good game. I was going to leave that alone. You could have just said, hey, it was a good game. And you could have said you pitched 7 or 8 innings of 1-run ball. Nobody would have been the wiser. Hey, that's on you.
I would have had about 12 guys bet down. No, you gave up that last run, you piece of crap.
That's true. Always going to be somebody bringing that up.
Oh, yeah.
Out of Testerman Park, we're back at it. Deerfield, another team hasn't played in a long time. They're anxious to get back at it. They'll be taking on the Expos and Justin Preble, and another team that's suffered some serious rainouts. Out at Foundation, I think they're going to play come hell or high water. Dodgers and Orioles playing on the turf at Foundation. Pretty good chance they're going to play. You know, if a game gets rained out at Foundation, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, that's really bad. I mean, that's almost the one that you can count on, either there or Riverfront. If we're playing a game, that one of those games are going to get played, especially out of Foundation. For it to get rained out, you know that we're breaking some kind of records with water this year. After that, we got McNick. We got the Hooks and the Meridians. That should be a good game. That'd be a good game.
That'll be a good one. Yeah, with all due apologies to those guys, that is a potential game of the week type of game, but we know why we're picking. Hey, we're doing the show. We can pick whatever game we want, right?
That's right. And then out Finneytown, we got the Hustle and the Sting. See how that one comes out there at Finneytown.
That should be a good ball game. Hustle trying to get back after it, and Adrian's got the Sting out there ready to roll. You go out to Heritage Park. 2 games out at Heritage. The first one out at Heritage 3 is going to be the Tigers and the Reds. You heard Thomas Hammond on with us last week. The surprising Tigers coming out of the gates at 4-3, and a Reds team that you've sung the praises of all year. Lots of good talent on that team. Jeff Muse, as good as anybody out there on the bump. Some good hitters in the middle of that lineup. Guys like Matt Hill, Dave Frank, John Kennedy. Muse himself, he can swing it. So that should be an interesting ball game. Franklin has the game between the Braves and the Dragons. The Braves got rained out at Franklin the other night. Taylor Fisher, none too happy about it. They're not used to getting rained out, but a pretty good chance they're going to get that one in on Sunday.
Yeah, that one, I think the rain forecast is that we are having on Sunday is more south. So there's a real good shot they'll get that in out Franklin too. So yeah, hopefully we get some games in. If not everybody, at least some guys get to play. So also the other game at Heritage you were talking about, we'll have Brewers and the Mudcats going at that one.
Yeah, should be a good matchup between an improved Brewers team and a Mudcats team that's kind of been Jekyll and Hyde. We've seen some good wins from them. We've seen some surprising games where you maybe thought they would win and didn't. But, I think with Mudcats, as it is with most of us, it kind of depends on who shows up on a given date. But the right guys show up for the Mudcats, it's a pretty tough team.
Yeah, and we always get on that Monday morning get to look up and see what Jay has put in. We'll get to see.
Absolutely. Can't wait to find out what he puts from that Carpetbaggers. Maybe the Knights ought to change their name to the Carpetbaggers. Speaking of the Knights, they're playing out at Loveland on Sunday, right?
Yeah, Knights and the Flying Tigers out at Loveland. So that one is, by the way, the last 3 games we did cover, Dragons, Braves, the Mudcats, Brewers, and the Knights and the Tigers, Flying Tigers. Games are a 10 a.m. start, not a 9:30 start. So
we started doing that in 2017 when the Braves came in, and when we did some of those crossover games with the Dayton League. Just simply that extra half hour gives time for guys to get where they need to get to. I know the Mudcats have some guys coming from pretty far north. They have a lot of guys in the Centerville area, but they have a few guys coming up from pretty far north, even north of Dayton. So that extra half hour helps. And then when we go up to Franklin, sometimes it's nice to have that extra half hour to get it started at 10. So, yeah, most games are 9:30, but if it involves a Dayton team, there's really no reason we can't bump it back to 10. It makes it a reasonable travel time for everybody involved.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Now we can cover Wednesday game.
Yeah, we'll switch gears over to Wednesday. We go over to the Wednesday games. We haven't played a Wednesday game, my team, in 4 weeks. May 22nd was the last time we played on a Wednesday game. Hopefully, on Wednesday, we can finally start getting these in because it seems like clockwork the last few weeks. About 6:15, 6:25, you start to hear the rumbles of thunder, and you're done by about 6:45. So hopefully this week we get them all in. The first game on the docket involves the Dayton Braves and the Suds, and this has been an interesting matchup the last couple of years. The Braves have kind of had the Suds number. They've won 3 of the 4 games over the last 2 years. Suds have had all kinds of trouble with the Braves.
The Braves coming out, you never know. So far this year, it's been either a hot start or a hot finish. So Suds need to look out for that. It'd be a good game to see out of Franklin.
Brewers will take on the Orioles. That game out at North College Hill. That's the second go-round for those teams this year. Brewers won the first meeting back in May by a final score of 12-8.
I do remember that. Wasn't that the one where both of them, between both teams, they were going to get their first loss in that game? Is that what it was? Maybe.
Yeah, I think I made that my game of the week at the time, I believe, because somebody was going to go 2-0. So, yeah, that was the game where the Brewers achieved their first 2-0 start in team history.
Yeah, so out at Schuler, we got the Bulls against Deerfield, and then McNick, Colt 45s and the Hooks out at McNick. So
well, that'll be a fun game, and we just got done talking with Jeff Kraft. Well, we've got his secrets now. Now we know how to build a team like the Hooks, right? Go to LA Fitness, start working out. And just win 90% of your games. It's easy.
I'm just going to start going to all the gyms around the area and finding all the guys with the baseball shirts on.
Right.
Just saying, hey,
you, baseball shirt? Yeah. Where have you played?
Yeah. Where'd you play? Let me know.
So that should be a good game. You guys actually beat the Hooks last year. One of their 2 losses. You beat them down at Highlands. So you guys have been there, done that. So maybe you can pull one off again on Wednesday next week. I've got a couple games here. Foundation involving the Meridians and Dodgers. Well, going to be a lot of blue in that game. Both teams' primary color is blue, and that's a good matchup. Those teams have had a pretty good series over the last couple of years. And then out at Sycamore, you've got the Dragons and Tigers going at it. That's a game. The Dragons still looking for that first win. They're going to try to get it Sunday against the Braves. If not, they'll try to get it against the Tigers next Wednesday.
Yeah, and then we got, I'm unhealthy. We've got the Reds and the Expos. I'm going to kind of keep my eye out on that one as well. Not just I've been kind of up on the Reds